Let me ask you something. Have you ever opened a trade, watched it move in your favor, felt your heart speed up a little, and suddenly a small voice in your head whispered, "Hold it, don't close yet? You can make more." You know you should take the profit. You know the move is already good. But something inside you wants more, even if you can't explain why. Tell me, does that happen to you? Because if it does, you're not broken. You're not stupid. You're not weak. You're human. And humans are wired to want just a little bit more, especially when the market gives them a taste of victory. But today, we're going to change that. We're going to crush that voice. We're going to break that old cycle. We're going to take your mindset and flip it so fast. Your future self will look back and say, that was the moment everything changed. But before we crush greed, we need to understand where it hides inside you. So let me take you somewhere. A mental place you've been without even knowing it. Imagine this. You're walking through a huge, glowing casino. Bright lights, happy sounds, machines ringing, people celebrating, chips clacking. Everything feels exciting. You're not even playing. You're just watching. You see a man at a slot machine. He presses the button, loses, presses again, loses, presses again, and suddenly the screen flashes. He wins a little. Not a lot. Not life-changing. Just enough to make his eyes light up. But instead of standing up and leaving, he sits deeper. He leans forward. He wants more. Right there, that moment, is the seed of trading greed. Because the market is a casino dressed in a suit. It acts like your friend. It acts like a teacher. But deep down, it uses the same tricks those machines use. Tiny wins. Small dopamine hits. Just enough to make you think, I can get more. Just one more push. Just a little higher. Let me ask you this. When you're in a winning trade, are you thinking logically or emotionally? Do you follow your plan? Or do you follow the chart like a hopeful gambler chasing the next jackpot? Tell yourself the truth. Because the moment you admit it, you take back power. And here's the crazy part. Greed isn't born in the moment you feel it. Greed comes from a memory. Time when you closed too early, and the price kept running without you. That pain, that regret, that frustration. Your brain saved it. And now, every time you're in profit, your brain whispers the same message. Don't miss out again. But this time, you're going to break that pattern. Because in the next part, I'm going to show you the first psychological weapon that instantly kills greed the moment it shows up. A weapon so simple, yet so powerful. You'll feel like you unlocked cheat codes for your brain. Great. Let's go deeper. Now imagine this. You're sitting in front of your chart. You entered a trade with confidence. You knew your plan. You knew your setup. You even told yourself, this time I will be disciplined. But then, the moment the trade goes into profit, even just a little, your brain starts acting like a kid in a candy store. Your thoughts go wild. What if it keeps going? What if this is the big one? What if I double my account today? Why settle for $20 when I could make $200? You felt that, right? Because here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Greed feels good. At first. The rush. The bounce in your chest when the candle moves in your direction. It feels like the market is cheering for you. But you and I both know how quickly that feeling can flip. Because the same move that gives you hope can snatch it away in seconds. One red candle. One pullback. One reversal. And suddenly that just a little more turns into, please go back up. Let me ask you something important, and answer honestly inside your mind. When your trade is in profit, do you feel scared to close? Because you think you might miss a bigger move? If the answer is yes, then you're not greedy. You're afraid. Afraid of missing out. Afraid of repeating old mistakes. Afraid of not making enough. Afraid of being wrong. And that fear disguises itself as greed. So how do we kill both at the same time? With something I call your number. This is the first psychological weapon. Let me explain. Before you ever click buy or sell, you must know exactly how much profit you want from the trade. Not a guess. Not a hope. Not a wide open door. A clear, specific number. $20. $50. 1 or 2 or whatever your strategy says. Because here's the rule. If you don't know your number, the market will give you a number. And trust me, you will not like it. Your number is your freedom. Your number protects you. Your number is the wall that stops greed from crawling inside your head. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine you're going to the supermarket. You walk in without a list. You say, I'll just buy whatever looks good. What happens? You buy too much. You buy things you don't need. You regret spending more than you planned. But if you walk in with a list, you're focused. You know what you're here for. You don't wander. You don't overspend. Trading is the same. If you don't walk into the market with a list, a number, you'll walk out with regret. Let me challenge you now. Think about your last 5 wins. Did you know your profit target before entering? Or did you feel it out in the moment? Because in the moment, your emotions are louder than your logic. And emotions don't care about your account. Your number kills greed instantly. Because it removes the question. What if it goes higher? It doesn't matter. Your number is the line. But listen, this is just the first weapon. In part 3, I'm going to give you the truly dangerous one. The one that flips your entire mindset and makes greed lose all its power. The weapon casinos use every single day to keep themselves rich and gamblers broke. You're about to think like a casino. All right, you're ready for the next level. And this one is where everything changes. I want you to picture something for a moment. Imagine a casino. Now imagine the richest casino in the world. Huge, golden lights, thousands of people walking around, money flowing everywhere. Let me ask you, do you think that casino cares about winning every single game? Of course not. That casino doesn't care if one gambler wins. It doesn't care if someone hits a jackpot. It doesn't care if a few people walk out celebrating. Because the casino knows one thing. In the long run, probability is on their side. And here's the secret weapon. Casinos don't think like gamblers. Casinos think like systems. Let me explain it in a simple way. The gambler says, I hope I win this round. The casino says, I don't care if I win this round. I only care about winning over hundreds of rounds. Do you see the difference? Now let me ask you another question. And be brutally honest. When you take a trade, are you thinking like a gambler? Or like a casino? Because here's the painful truth. Greed only exists when you think like a gambler. Greed dies when you think like a casino. Let me show you how deep this goes. A gambler gets excited when he's winning. A casino does not. A gambler gets scared when he's losing. A casino does not. A gambler adjusts his behavior based on emotions. A casino adjusts based on math. And here's something you've probably never heard before. Your advantage, your strategy, only works when you stop caring about individual trades. The outcomes of single trades do not matter. Only the outcome of your system over time matters. Let me give you an analogy you'll never forget. Imagine you're flipping a coin. Heads, you win $2. Tails, you lose $1. If you flip the coin once, anything can happen. You could win. You could lose. You could get lucky or unlucky. But if you flip the coin 100 times, do you know what happens? You profit. Every time. That's how casinos think. And that's how traders who crush greed think. But here's the catch. If you try to squeeze more out of every single coin flip, if you try to be perfect on every toss, you'll mess up your entire advantage. Because greed is you saying, I need to win this trade. But the casino says, I don't need to win this trade. I just need to manage my risk and follow my system because I know the long-term result. Let me ask you this. Are you trying to win trades or trying to win the game? Those are not the same thing. A greedy trader tries to win trades. A disciplined trader tries to win the game. Once you start thinking like a casino, greed doesn't even enter your mind anymore. Because now, you see each trade as a tiny part of a long journey. A single brick in a huge building. A single coin toss in 100 flips. You stop needing this one trade to be amazing. You stop chasing extra profit. You stop panicking when you're up. Because you finally understand something. You don't need more from the market. When you know you will win in the long run. But listen closely, Because in part 4, I'm going to show you the trick casinos use to keep their emotions out of every decision. If you apply this in trading, greed will disappear so fast. It'll feel like it was never there. Let's keep going. Because what I'm about to tell you may become the biggest mindset shift of your entire trading journey. We talked about thinking like a casino, but now I want to show you how casinos stay emotionally calm, even when they lose huge amounts of money in a single moment. Because if you master this next part, your trading will never look the same again. Picture this. A gambler hits a massive jackpot. The machine flashes. People clap. The gambler jumps around like they just won the lottery. Now look at the casino manager. No smile. No panic. No reaction. But because the casino has something you don't. A fixed system. A fixed structure. A fixed process. And here's the rule that kills greed instantly. Casinos make rules before the game begins. And they never break them during the game. Let me ask you this. When you're in a trade, and the candle starts moving fast, do you stay calm like the casino manager? Or do you react like the gambler, chasing every tick like it's the last food on earth? Be honest with yourself. Because traders fall into greed when they try to make decisions while the trade is running. Casinos don't do that. Casinos decide everything before the first card is dealt. That is the secret. And here's how you apply it as a trader. You must make all decisions before the trade begins, not after. Before you enter, you must already know where you'll exit with profit, where you'll exit with a loss, how much size you're using, how much you're willing to risk, what conditions make you walk away. Because once the trade starts, your emotions wake up. Your brain goes into survival mode. Logic becomes blurry. Signals become confusing. And greed begins talking. Let me give you a simple analogy. Imagine you're packing for a trip. You decide what clothes to bring. You decide what shoes to bring. You decide what bag to carry. But imagine packing after you reach the airport. You'd panic. You'd throw random things into the bag. You'd feel stressed. You'd forget important items. You'd lose control. Trading is the exact same. You can't pack your decisions during the flight. You must pack beforehand. When you pre-decide, you remove 90% of opportunities for greed to influence you. Greed needs chaos to survive. Greed needs uncertainty. Greed needs you to be unsure about what to do next. But when you've already made your decisions, your plan is locked in. Your numbers are fixed. Your exits are predetermined. Greed has nothing left to grab onto. Now let me ask you a challenging question. Why do you trust your emotions more than your plan, when your emotions have hurt you more times than your plan has? Think about that deeply. Because today, that pattern ends. But this next part, part 5, is where the real magic happens. Because in part 5, I'm going to give you a simple, powerful mental trick that instantly resets your emotions and kills greed the moment it starts rising. It's something elite traders use to stay calm under pressure, while everyone else acts like they're fighting a dragon. You're going to love it. But this is where things get powerful. Because now you're about to learn one of the simplest, fastest, most effective methods to crush greed the moment it begins to rise inside you. Before I tell you the technique, I want to paint a picture in your mind. Imagine you're holding a cup of hot tea, fresh, steaming, comfortable at first, but then it gets hotter, and hotter, and hotter. How long can you hold it before you have to drop it? A second? 2 seconds? No matter how strong you are, eventually the heat becomes too much. That's how greed works. It begins warm. It feels harmless. It feels nice. It feels like hope. But left unchecked, it becomes too hot to hold. It burns your judgment. It burns your rational thinking. It burns your account. So the question becomes, how do you cool the cup instantly before you burn your entire hand? Here's how. This mental trick is called the mirror flip. Let me show you how it works. Whenever you're in a winning trade, and greed begins whispering, hold longer, don't close yet, you do one thing. You flip the situation in your mind. You imagine the exact trade you are in right now. Same price, Same movement, same chart. But imagine you are losing instead of winning. Imagine the candle moving against you. Imagine your stop loss getting close. Imagine your emotions getting tight. Now ask yourself, what would I do if this was a losing trade? Be honest. You would protect your account. You would defend your money. You would follow your rules. You would close out when your plan told you to. So why do traders give so much discipline to their losing trades, but give zero discipline to their winning trades? Why do we treat losses like emergencies and treat profits like toys? Let me ask you directly, if you would respect your stop loss, why wouldn't you also respect your take profit? Think about that. If you trust your plan in pain, why not trust your plan in joy? The mirror flip works because it forces your brain to step out of the greedy mode and activate the protective mode, the same mode you use when a losing trade is threatening you. Here's another analogy to make it stick. Imagine a firefighter running into a burning building. He's focused. He's disciplined. He knows the danger. He respects it. Now imagine that same firefighter inside a beautiful, peaceful park, laughing, relaxing, playing. That's how you treat the market. You treat losing trades like burning buildings, scary and serious. But you treat winning trades like parks, calm and casual. But the market is dangerous. In both directions. A win can burn you, just like a loss can. That's why you must use the same discipline in profit that you use in loss. Whenever greed starts rising, the mirror flip brings instant clarity, because suddenly your brain switches from, I want more, to, I want to protect what I have. And that difference is everything. Let me ask you one more question. Before we head into the final part, how many times would your account be bigger today if you simply treated your wins with the same respect you treat your losses? Just imagine where you'd be.